Hello, this is Dr. Stanley Lang, and welcome to this video. The subject for this video is how to reverse diabetes, and the context is doing this with a whole person health approach. A whole person health approach means that we're going to approach this with health of body, mind, and spirit in mind. And so the spiritual angle that I approach whole person health with is from a Christian perspective. And so that's kind of the context that you'll hear in some of these videos, and in particular today. So I'd like to review two different patients that I saw today that were recently diagnosed with diabetes. And both of them were unique in that they did not want to use medication. Neither one of them was critically ill, but both of them had a very strong bias against medication. And one of them had actually been diabetic in a sort of a diabetic program before, but had not been taken care of for a long time, had sort of drifted in and out of the system for years, and then came back in. And so when I repeated diagnostic tests, he definitely was diabetic, but not being treated. So the point that I wanted to make was that in both of these cases, I was able to offer a treatment strategy that works for the vast majority of people who are type 2 diabetics who are not critically ill. Most of these folks can be started on a lifestyle strategy without any medication needed at all. And if they follow the strategy, they never will need medication, and they will be able to ultimately not only control their blood sugar, but in many cases completely reverse the evidence that they even had diabetes. Now, this process of reversal takes many months, well over a year, even in best case scenario, but it only takes a few weeks to start to get really good control of the blood sugar. So what are the aspects of this whole person health approach? Well, first of all, on the physical plane, the person must be dedicated to eating what we call a very low glycemic index diet. Now, what that means in practice is that you cut out the high glycemic carbs, that is the carbs that are turned to sugar quickly. That includes foods that are basically grains, potatoes, rice, and sugar. That still leaves fruits and vegetables in terms of carbs, and the strategy that I use is fairly consistent ratios of these foods with every meal and every snack. And for the first few weeks, that's basically the strategy that the patient follows. Then we can sort of make it a little bit more flexible for them. On the emotional side, the key is dealing with chronic stress. Most patients experience that when they are under more stress, that their blood sugars will go up, and they can actually see that when they're doing monitoring. Now, these two folks hadn't seen that because they weren't monitoring themselves, not even knowing that they were diabetic. But we know this from other studies, and so for these two people to try to reverse their diabetes, they're going to need to address the chronic stress issues in their life, because chronic stress causes hormones to be released that push the body more towards poorly controlled diabetes. Now, where does the spiritual aspect come into this? Well, it touches on both the physical and on the emotional. So on the physical side, when one engages in spiritual activity of any significance, this usually involves extended periods of prayer. And one of the things that happens kind of automatically with prayer is what is called the relaxation response. Now, this is a change in the physical body that decreases the chemistry of chronic stress, but it's working with the body, not the mind, to make this change. And so extended periods of prayer will produce changes biochemically that cause the blood sugar to be more easily controlled with lifestyle changes. Now, on the emotional side, one of the most important aspects of the spiritual life is the practice of forgiveness. And most people walk around with a huge burden of anger and resentment because they have not learned how to forgive. And this increases dramatically that same chronic stress change that I've just been talking about. And learning how to forgive is a key part of learning how to reverse diabetes, how to live a whole person health lifestyle in a good way. And in my experience, having studied a variety of different world religions and ultimately becoming a Christian, I believe that Jesus teaches the best way forward when it comes to how to forgive. In fact, he's the most perfect model of forgiveness, having forgiven all of us even when he was dying on the cross. So forgiveness is the key to living in a peaceful state of mind, a low stress state of mind, and letting that low stress transfer over into our physical health. So I hope you found this overview of the whole person health approach to wellness and health, and applying it specifically to diabetes reversal. I hope you found this helpful in approaching your own health issues as you go forward with your life. So have a great day. God bless, and talk to you soon.